Barbados braces for strike action across the public sector. And in sport, Chris Gayle to headline the IPL auction. I'm Dawn Paris, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Wednesday, January 17th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Did you know that a strategy has been developed to help improve the region's education and human resources?
You didn't? Well, the HID strategy, as it is called, will guide CARICOM in how it delivers quality education and training to the people of the region.
The strategy has been crafted by a group of experts called the HRD Commission.
Consultations have been done across the region to get your input.
Do you know that none of us will be left behind?
The HRD strategy is important to all of us, students, parents, and employers. It will prepare the region, especially the youth, for the 21st century economy and society.
The HRD strategy, unlocking Caribbean human potential.
Begin in Barbados, where the National Union of Public Workers, the NUPW, has put the country on notice of indefinite strike action across the public service. President Akani McDowell says the industrial action will begin soon following government's failure to conclude salary and other pay negotiations with the union. The NUPW had given the Frundle Stewart-led administration until January 15th to respond to its pay demands, which include a 23% pay hike and a $60 million Barbados dollar lump sum payment as a coping subsidy for the workers following recent increases in the cost of living. But the deadline passed without any response from the government. The NUPW president is keeping the details of the pending industrial action close to his chest, but he says something is coming.
All I can say to you is that the union is going full on into any industrial action that we have planned. All gloves are off.
McDowell indicated that the NUPW would seek support in its action from other unions in the island. An accusation that the Trinidad and Tobago government intends to spy on citizens forced a suspension of the Upper House of Parliament in the Twin Island Republic yesterday. Government and opposition members squared off over an order which seeks to exempt the Strategic Services Agency from the Freedom of Information Act. Opposition Senator Wade Mark said government's intentions are dark.
It is my opinion that this order is nefarious. No, you cannot talk to me. Get out of this chair.
This was the final straw for the acting president of the Senate.
Take your seat. Honourable members, I will suspend this House for 10 minutes.
The sitting of the Upper House of Parliament was suspended on Tuesday afternoon after the opposition raised serious concerns about a move by the government, specifically an order that prevents the spy agency, the SSA, from being subjected to the Freedom of Information Act. That facility allows members of the media, interest groups and others to access information about the agency.
What I would like to describe as the attempt by the government to run a secret service, a PNM private secret service, a service similar to SS Gestapo under Nazi Hitler Germany.
The heated encounter took place as the opposition raised a private motion seeking to annul the Freedom of Information exemption order. Senator Wade Mark believes it is an assault on freedom of expression and freedom of the press. AG Faris Al-Rawi has defended the move, saying it is good law and careful consideration was given, while the National Security Minister maintains there must be a certain degree of secrecy in intelligence gathering.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has ordered a review of safety arrangements at children's homes and places of safety hours after fire destroyed one such facility, leaving 2 girls dead. The cause of the fire at the privately run Walker's Place of Safety on Monday night is being investigated by the fire department. Holness visited the facility yesterday afternoon and expressed sadness at the loss of life and displacement of the other 34 wards and staff members. And he says the review he has ordered will determine, among other things, safety guidelines at homes and places of safety.
Incidents like these happen, it triggers an administrative response, which is to review what actually happened, from whether or not the building was appropriate, from whether or not we need to spend more resources to build better facilities, to see whether or not there was negligence, and just to make sure, as I've said before, that the places of safety are actually safe places. And that's the duty of the government, and especially the minister, and I've asked the minister to undertake that review.
The government has identified alternative accommodation for the children who were displaced after the fire. State Minister in the Ministry of Youth, Floyd Green, said they will be housed in 3 homes across the corporate area. Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next. Continuing with sports now, superstar Chris Gayle headlines several top-tier West Indies players who will join over 1,000 players in the highly anticipated Indian Premier League IPL auction scheduled for month-end. The veteran left-hander was released by Royal Challengers Bangalore earlier this month and is now expected to find himself in a bidding war in the 2-day auction on January 28th. According to IPL organizers, 1,122 players have signed up for the draft, with 39 Caribbean players among the 282 overseas entrants. Much of the spotlight will fall on Gayle, who remains one of the most sought-after names in international franchise cricket. The 38-year-old Jamaican spent 7 seasons with RCB, scoring 3,636 runs at an average of 41.20 from 101 matches. He struck 521 half-centuries and boasts a phenomenal strike rate of 151.2. Gayle is the only batsman in the world cricket with over 10,000 runs in T20s, but struggled last season, garnering only 200 runs from 9 innings for RCB. And the West Indies under-19s suffered their second straight loss, this time at the hands of South Africa, as action continued in the ICC Youth World Cup in New Zealand. South Africa posted 282 for 8 in their 50 overs after being put into bat. An unbeaten 99-run knock at a runner ball by middle-order batsman Wandile Makwetu and a gutsy 4 for 33, 10-over spell by Herman Rolfs secured a Super League spot. The total was propelled mainly by Makwetu and a lower-order burst from Gerald Coetzee's 29 off 13 balls, Kenan Smith 22 off 46, and Jay de Klerk 21 off 12 after the dismissal of Jevensin Pillay of 47 earlier in the match. In reply, the Windies were bowled out for 206 in 45.3 overs in the end. Alec Nthananzi's 76 off 100 balls, Kirsten Kalicharan's 44 off 50, and openers Kimani Melius and Keegan Simmons made the most notable contributions with the bat. And that's Caribbean in 10.